FXOBoSs. Everyone might know me from my Artosis interview. In this interview, I will have good posture, so it's all good.
Just give us a brief rundown of how you came to run this team.
All right. I've played StarCraft since 1998. I was all right at it, StarCraft 1, and then I ended up having some high school issues, so I went into work. Then I joined the company I work for, FXOpen, about 2 years ago as a director, and now shareholder. So the actual head guy plays StarCraft as well. And I said, I can do something with this, create a business, change the mentality of the industry, because there's some sordid points of view out there. So my idea is to slowly try and create sort of a revolution of sorts in the industry.
Okay. Well, I think you're taking a pretty big step with the Korea move. Can you tell me how the FXO to Korea move happened?
I was talking to John. After I was in Korea in February, I became quite good friends with John Park from GOM, the translator. And he told me that one of the teams might not have enough players. So I said, all right, if you want us to come, we'll come. He said, yeah, we were going to ask you anyway. So I said, sure, why not? Book the flights, off we go. That's
okay.
Cool.
That's pretty... well, I know you were in Korea in February with Moonblade,
yeah.
Right? How did that go for you?
It's a very big, eye-opening experience. Korea is what esports needs to be. Anyone who thinks otherwise is extremely wrong and obviously hasn't been there, because the environment, the adrenaline, the way that people actually react to esports is so much bigger. It actually means something there. A bunch of gamers playing games and making some money doesn't mean much. It's just guys getting some money. In Korea, it's a job. People recognize it. Like MVP on the train, people will notice who he is on the train. In Australia, no one knows who T-Gun or Moonblade is, like general population.
Yeah.
So it is a sport, the way it should be.
When you were over there, were there any specific moments that really struck you and made you think, wow, I want to be a part of this?
GSL Code A qualifiers. That place is the most adrenaline-filled LAN cafe I've ever been to in my life. I've been to some pretty big LANs in my life. I've been over in Sweden and in other places. And there's nothing like Code A qualifiers. There's absolutely nothing like it.
Okay. So you have 8 players coming to Korea, right?
Maybe 9.
Maybe 9. Okay. That's a pretty impressive feat, lining up everyone's lives essentially to go there and make that kind of commitment. How did you do that? Was it known from the beginning, or
summer holidays? That's all I can say. Summer holidays. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't summer holidays.
So, well, with that in mind, then, how do you expect this to go after summer?
I spoke to the guys yesterday about it. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that a few guys get into Code S or Code A, either by MLG or by qualifying over there. So if they can do that, then it's up to them what they want to do. I'm not going to pressure them to stay there. If they want a place to stay off season, they can come to Malaysia and live with me. No problem. It's like 5-hour flight. It's cheap. It's easy. Lifestyle in Malaysia is pretty good. So there's a comfort level there. I'm catering to what they need and what they want. If they want to come home, they can come home.
Okay. So with a lot of these guys, it's their first time living away from home, their first time living with a group like this, and then to add on top of that, it's going to be a pressure-filled situation with a lot of practice. What do you think about that? Do you think it's going to affect them in any way, positively or negatively? Because obviously, like I said before, a lot of foreigners over there didn't enjoy it in Brood War and in StarCraft 2 and came home because of it. So has that entered the equation at all?
As a team, no. Like if people stay on, yeah, I'll start to worry about it. We've done this with Moonblade, and he was very homesick, and it affected his play. He's much better than he was in GSL Code A, and I know that he knows that, and that's why I had no issue with it. It's very, very tough to be put out, but it's just a month together. We all relate really well. We are like family. I don't expect much homesickness, but it'll be pretty easy to get over. I'll be there for 2 weeks, and I've lived away from home since I was 15, so I can sort of relate to it and share my experiences with the people.
Okay. What are your expectations as far as results go?
First round will be pretty bad, and I beg for people not to hold us accountable for the first round. These people haven't played on TV before, as far as I know. Some have experience, like Moonan's won Courage, so there's a bit of experience, but I don't have any expectations for the first round. I think we can take out 1 or 2 teams that are in the list, depending on what the pools are. Most of our players have beaten Koreans before, either in our own tournaments or on ladder. Filthy was Grandmasters on Korean ladder until he had a computer problem. Moonglaze still Grandmasters on ladder. T-Gun's beaten Ryang. You know, we have the experience playing against them. We're not very scared of them either, which has been struck as a bit weird to other people. But there's no fear in it. We're going there to do our best, that's all.
Okay. So you described earlier how the FXO team started and why and how you got to Korea. Can you just describe the experience in general, what role you have played and what it's meant for you?
Until recently, it was very hard. The team was slowly molding together, but once it molded, it became very easy because I had my family to back me up, which is my team, and we treat each other that way. This trip has proven that. Even though we had never met each other before, we're all very comfortable around each other. We go to team dinners, and everyone's happy with each other, so there's no harm in that. Beforehand, it's very, very, very difficult to cater to the gaming community as a business. And being a gamer myself, I sort of understand it a little bit, but some of the community is very difficult to cater to. Yeah, it's a very different business for me. I deal with finance, so it's like the complete opposite.
Well, what do you mean difficult to cater to?
There's a little bit of selfishness, a little bit. Priorities are on fame rather than ability. I mean, the comments on Team Liquid themselves about us going to GSTL are a prime example of that. Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from other teams or other players, but if they wanted to go or if they could go, they would be going. It's that simple. Yeah. I'm not doing this for publicity because if I wanted to publicize my team, I'd just do a tournament for 20 grand instead of spending 20 grand out of my wallet for people to go to Korea. It's not an investment for advertising, it's an investment to get better.
Well, as far as it costing like 20 grand, what makes that kind of investment worth it? Like,
yeah, it's very difficult to justify. My point of view is that if you get stuck in one environment, in anything, any type of sport, you tend to adjust to it. Whereas if going to Korea, everyone will adjust to that and then have the North America and Europe experience as well. So they'll grow a lot quicker and a lot better. Our team's lack of invite into the EG Masters Cup was one thing that sort of went, you know, why aren't we being noticed? We do have some of the best players in North America. There's no doubt about it. Anyone who says otherwise doesn't know much about the community itself. Yeah, it was a bit tough to sort of bite onto that one, you know? So I had to work on a way of kicking it up a notch, get our team out there. You know, they deserve more than they're getting, so I'm giving it to them. That's pretty much the bottom line.
Okay, so you briefly touched on this like a minute ago, but how do you feel about the foreign reaction to you guys going? Because you said it seems silly. It's based more on fame than ability. So what would you?
Not only, it's also favorites as well. Like if your favorite player isn't doing something and someone else is doing, you're going to be upset, right? But you don't need to bash someone else for it. That's my opinion. Mm-hmm. Like I agree, there are great players in teams like Dignitas, EG, Mouse Sports, Empire. But at the same time, you know, you're taking things away by saying something extremely bad about my team. You're taking things away from my family. It hurts me. It's one of the only things in esports that ever has hurt me is the reaction. It's about, we tallied about 30%. It was horrible responses, and people are saying, well, you're going to ruin foreign esports. How? We're FXO. We're not foreign esports. We don't go around saying, yeah, we're the world foreign team. We're not doing that. Anyone who thinks that is naive. They don't understand that this is a team. It's a team league. To compile a team of the best players from every team doesn't make it a team league, does it? It's another thing with the mercenary thing, but we won't get into that.
Well, if you want to get into it, do you have some thoughts on it?
It just defeats the purpose of a team league. OGSTL, yes. I agree 100%. They've lived together for 3 months. They belong together, right? But dragging someone in from overseas and finding a Korean team that doesn't have enough players and just saying, you're a team now. What is that? It's not a team. They don't know how each other play. They don't know how each other live. That's my point of view on that.
So I guess do you have one thing that you would say to all the people that we were just talking about who are sort of doubting you guys, saying negative things? Would you give one thing you would say to win them over?
Win them over?
I mean, or does it matter to you to win them over, really?
Not really. It doesn't matter to me because my interests are in the best interests of my team, and that's it. Yeah. Spectators, they'll come and go. We have our fans, and we're very proud of them. We have the people who support us. We're very proud of that as well. But haters are going to hate.
Yeah. Well said. All right. Good luck to all your team. I appreciate the interview, man.
Thank you.